Okay, you know those little burps that come up from your belly? Like they're quiet, they don't come out your mouth, but they're like inside. I just had a long one of those right before the camera went live. I'm so glad it happened before we went live. Okay, let me just hop on and make sure that we're live right now. Happy Tuesday! My computer just told me it was Tuesday, so now I know it's Tuesday. Hello, hello. Okay, breaking through to the top of your field. There's some consistent stuff that I see coming up, and I said something to one of my private clients today, and I was like, that's really true. Nobody knows this. Like, they don't know this. They don't understand this. And I was saying to her, oops, sorry, I just got a phone call. Let me shut that off. Okay, sorry. Okay, so my client is quite high level. She's incredible badass. She's super inspirational. I absolutely love her. And so, you know, I was saying to her, because her awareness is so high, I'm able to really download a lot to her. Like, I can support her really, like, a lot. I can support her in a lot of different areas, and we have a lot of similar growth stuff like that. And I was talking to her, I was like, you know what? Nobody knows this. Nobody really gets this, and I'm able to say this to you. And then I was thinking like, oh, that was kind of a silly thought to think that you guys wouldn't understand. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. Somehow that snuck in. It's kind of ridiculous. Of course you'll understand. So then I was like, oh yeah, I definitely need to talk about that today. So I feel like this is a really big deal, and I feel like it'll be really easy for people to ignore it. Like, I feel like for the most part, people will be tempted to be like, oh yeah, that. But this is basically the biggest piece of information I could give you to be successful in your field, period, ever. And yes, it's the biggest piece of information I could give. Oh, I'm so happy you could make it live too, Kathy. Hello back. Who else is here? Say hi to me. If you're on the replay, hashtag I'm here. If it's your first time and you've never been in any of my trainings or on a live before, or you're just new to me in general and you've not said hello to me, let me know it's your first time so I can come say hi to you. I like to snoop your page and say hello. Let me know where you're at in the world. Where are you from? I love to know where everybody's at in the world. I love how some people are just waking up. Some people are just getting ready to go to bed. It's amazing. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Laura. Hi, girl. Okay, so this one's really big, okay? And it's funny because it's been on my radar. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Jess. Oh, Jess, doing life together, girl. Yes. Oh, Virginia. Love it. Vancouver Island in Canada. I love my Canadians. Hi, Canadians. They're some of my favorite people ever. New Jersey. Oh, I don't hear that one very often. I love it. This coast. Yeah. So one of the things that have been really on my radar is what I'm talking about today. And it's basically the whole intention of the Savvy group that's coming up. So I don't need my laptop right now. So Oklahoma. Yeah. Hi, Misty. So, okay. The whole reason I built Savvy was because there's a concept behind it that people don't understand, and that's what I'm going to break down to you guys today. If it resonates with you, great, you can join Savvy. The doors are still open right now. If it doesn't, I would encourage you to listen to the Facebook Live again and again until it does, because it's going to be really easy to dismiss me, but we're going to dive right into this, okay? Oh, I'm from Massachusetts too. Oh yeah, I know you were from Mass, Jamie. Oh, you're in Florida? Left Mass, came to Florida too? I didn't know. Where are you at in Florida? That's awesome. Okay. The number one thing, and I mean this from my heart and soul, the number one thing that you can do to have massive success in your business, literally and including to be, so the reason I named that group Savvy was because that's what it feels like to me. Because I'm building skills in every area of my life. I'm up-leveling every area of my life, from finances to how I am as a mom, to what kind of men that I allow in my space, to friendships that I have, to the fun that I have in my life, to the way I get to travel, to my looks, to my body, to my fitness, to my every single area of my life is being up-leveled. And so to me, it's not only, oh, hi, Melbourne, hi, Lee. It's not just about having the results, it's about becoming the woman. So, and it's not just about those tangible results, it's about how I'm learning to communicate, how I am as a leader or as a boss, right? So I have my bikini. Not trying to give anyone a show. How I set boundaries with people, how I allow myself to be treated, how I handle situations when things don't go well, how I handle fear, how I step into things, the level of power I have, the financial decisions that I'm able to take pressure on and handle with ease. I mean, it's just literally endless. I could keep going for the next hour just talking about all the things that I learned from building a company, right? And becoming a human being who created these results. But there's one thing that I do that across the entire board has brought me breakthrough in every area of my life and created that sense of savviness that I have. Like I feel savvy because I feel like I know how to handle all these things. Like I remember when I first started, I did a meetup group, right? Which I highly recommend, by the way. If you're not doing meetup groups, I highly recommend that. They're amazing. Let me know if you're doing a meetup group. That's how I started. So I did a meetup group and it was basically around, neuroscience kind of stuff and like understanding how the brain works a little bit and like kind of why we get stuck in patterns, right? So anyway, it blew up and like I had to cap it and learn how to cap it so people couldn't come anymore because there was so many people. And the first time I ran it, I went with my ex. So my ex and I were there. This story is hilarious. So I'm there. There's like all these people sitting around the table and there's 3 women that are really like kind of pains in the ass. I'm not going to lie, but I loved them. So one lady is like really just like super like victim mode, right? And she's just like dumping some heavy stuff. I'm cool with that though, right? The next lady next to her is giving her advice. And then the third lady is telling them both why they both shouldn't be doing that, right? So I'm sitting here and like the other people are getting kind of frustrated and annoyed. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm developing the skill on how to handle this. I got this. I'm navigating this. I'm probably not going to do it perfect because it's my first time, but I got this. And I'm going to know how to do it better the next time and better the next time. So we leave. Everyone's like, that was amazing. That was incredible. People were like sharing from their heart. We leave. My ex says to me, that was awful. I'm never doing that again. That was awful. And I'm like, what? That was amazing. That was so incredible. Like, I can't wait to go again next week. And now I know how to handle this. I know how to handle that. I'm going to look up how to handle this thing or ask some people around this thing. And like, to me, it was the ultimate experience because I was like, oh, like, look at all the stuff I'm learning right now. And look at how heart connected we are. It's messy as shit, but I didn't care. I did not care that it was messy, right? So just such different perspectives on it. And it's really what's behind that is the thing I'm talking to you guys about today. The most powerful thing that you could possibly learn to do to become a savvy human being who knows how to handle and outgrow any pattern or behavior that you have, who knows how to scale your life and who knows how to reach your goals and, get to that next level version, scale your entire life, your entire business, your income, all the parts of your life and becoming the person you're meant to be is literally the art of surrendering. Which you wouldn't think. And I'm the biggest go-getter. I am the Marine Corps girl. I'm the girl who's like, shut the fuck up and get your work done. Like, stop giving me your excuses. Let's do this now. We're doing this together. Let's go, right? Like, I'm very, very much a push energy, a masculine energy, a rising energy, like, let's do it together. We're all going together. I'm taking everybody with me. And I'm telling you, the most powerful thing that you could do is surrender to what is and learn the damn lesson in the surrender. So the question I'm always asking myself is like, basically 2 questions usually help me find it when I can't find it. So some shit's going on. I'm just not breaking through and I'm not getting the result that I want to have. Let's say the weight loss journey, right? I was super impatient and annoyed that I couldn't lose the weight faster. It was like 9 years later after having my daughter, I still wasn't down to my pre-baby weight. And what I learned to do was surrender to like, okay, so this is what my journey of weight loss looks like. That's what it is. And feel that exhale of surrender. And then it's not just that. It's not like, oh, now I'm going to go slump on the couch and, eat chocolate bars and watch TV. It's surrendering to what actually is. This is how much money I'm actually making. This is how I'm able to show up in communication. This is the best I can do. This is the best I can do running my team right now. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm like, what's more insane than arguing and fighting and not actually accepting what actually is? There's kind of something not, like, it's the epitome of insanity to not accept what is and to feel like surrender. Yes, I'm learning it, Mandy. That's right, sister. We're learning it together. Like, I'm going to actually not accept what is right now. I'm going to fight against what actually is, and I'm going to try to like get a shortcut or race through it somehow. That shit doesn't work at all. And what happens is kind of like, I think the example I gave with my girlfriend on the phone today was like someone who's in a binge purge cycle. They want to lose weight, so they're like dieting, and then they're binging because they just restricted themselves so much. And nobody binges without restriction. Do you know that? So if you have a binge problem going on, restriction is happening. You cannot get into a binge cycle without restriction, okay? So the solution is restriction removal, okay? So the same thing as that's true for weight loss, which I'm sure most people know, we know this, right? Is the same thing with making money. It's literally the exact same thing. We get into this cycle of like trying to find a shortcut and racing through and pushing, and we're not if I'm in a binge purge cycle, I'm a woman who's in a binge purge cycle or something, and I'm trying to lose the weight and I'm really impatient about it. If I surrender and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at. What am I not acknowledging? Like, what in me is trying to mature? That's one of the questions I ask myself. Or what am I being called to? If this is for me to become everything I feel I'm meant to be, for me to have all the things I long for and desire, how is this for me? And what am I going to do with it? Those are the questions I ask myself with every circumstance or situation, whether it's being a mom, it's romantic, it's money, it's running the company, whatever it is, hiring, firing, it doesn't matter. This is always the question I ask. When anything hard or like, whoa, what is happening right now? That came out of nowhere. Or like, I cannot believe I still haven't gotten the results I'm looking for in this area. Like, I have been trying to do this for so friggin' long, and I've been at it and at it and at it and at it, and I still don't have the results that I want. And you're like, that it shouldn't be like that. You have that sense of like, it shouldn't be like that. Your power move is surrender and find out what you are being called to. So when I finally calmed down and surrendered, I'm like, okay. And I realized, oh, there's some men in my life that don't treat me how I should be treated, and I haven't released them yet. I hadn't set a boundary and released that yet. So as soon as that comes in, I'm like, okay, and I clean that up. I set the boundaries. I learn the lesson. Magically, I go right back into that flow state of shedding weight. In my business, it's just not working. I'm like, let's say when I was stuck at 30K months, like I just stuck at 30K months. I think I was 60K. I was like 30 and 40K months I was bouncing, and I wanted to be at 60K months. And I kept being like, what? I remember saying to my coach, like, I don't understand why I'm not just breaking through to 60K months. This is ridiculous. It's been like a year of making 30 and 40K months, right? And I'm a kind of person who scales really rapidly. So I was being a little bit entitled about it, and I was being a little bit ridiculous about it. And what I learned in that moment was I didn't know how to run my team very well. Like, I wasn't designing a team where I felt supported the way that I felt like I wasn't creating a space where I could most thrive. So I was just sort of expecting them to figure that out without creating that myself. A second I actually surrendered to the circumstance and tuned into myself, like, what am I being called? Like, what is jarring? What's off? Where am I out of integrity? What am I lying to myself about? What's bothering me? What's off? What needs to be corrected? What am I being called to? What am I being called to mature into? Right? And it was very, very obvious right away, like, oh yeah, this team stuff. But I kept ignoring it because it felt overwhelming, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't know how to do it, and I felt like I was a diva if I set expectations, like, I don't like this, I do like this, right? And of course I learned to just release the emotion. Clarity and saying what you like and what you don't like is a loving act. Don't you like clarity? Don't you want to know how to do a good job for someone? If you're doing a job for them, you want to know how to do a good job. And if someone's not giving you clarity and you're just expected to figure it out, that doesn't feel good, right? So here I was with a pattern of like, I'm being a diva if I tell them what I want specifically, and that's all they ever needed and wanted was for me to tell them what I want specifically, which is true for most human beings, right? So every single level of the way, from going where I was to the rapid success that I've had in my business, as fast as it went global, within 1 year it went global, right? Every single time that I've scaled to the next level, it's been because I was willing and brave enough. Let's be honest, it takes us having lots of bravery to slow down, surrender to what is fully, like actually genuinely accept it, face where we're at and who we are, what skills we have or what beliefs we have or how we've been showing up, and let it go without judgment. Like, it's okay, I'm human, this is where I'm at. And ask ourselves what the lesson is. Like, where are we looking to grow and expand to that next level? And trust that as we actually show up and do that, right? So it's about trusting as we surrender to it, it will bring us faster to our goals. You want the fastest way to make money? Surrender to what is. Stop fighting it and trying to make it different. Stop trying to race to some kind of goal. And stop and slow down, tune into what you are being called to and what you are being asked to mature around. Get full in integrity with yourself. What feels off? What feels jarring? Where are you out of integrity with yourself? What are you being called to? What in you is being asked to mature? And how is this circumstance for you to become the human being that you envision yourself being, the highest level version of yourself? Because it is for you. It is. Maybe you're ignoring opting into a program that you're supposed to and you're having some money stories. Maybe you have a relationship where you haven't set boundaries. Maybe you are ignoring a responsibility where other people are waiting on you and it keeps creating a mess over and over and over. Maybe you have been completely ignoring your finances and paying no attention and just keep throwing money at shit, hoping it's going to fix everything for you. Maybe you're thinking things are magical pills. Maybe you're being entitled. Maybe you're not taking really good care of yourself and you're being called to take better care of yourself and actually start working out and making space for yourself in your own schedule. Maybe you're being called to let your actual deepest truth come out. Maybe you're holding back in what you're saying and you're trying to fit in or sound like someone else instead of being really honest about who you are and what your actual real deep message is to the world. But whatever it is, I can tell you that you will not reach the goal that you're meant to reach until you become the human it took to create that. And so if you keep resisting and ignoring who you are and you're not facing it, you can't expand and become the next level version of you. You won't become savvy. You won't. You'll just stay stuck in a loop over and over. And this is actually what you'll do. So let's say, I don't know, let's pick random numbers. Let's say you're at 10K months consistently and you're trying to get to 30K months. You'll go back and forth between 10 and 30 over and over for an entire fucking year. I can promise you that because that's what I did between 30 and 50 over and over and over and over and over and over for an entire year until you're willing to surrender to what is, let it go, stop being entitled. You don't get to be the one person that sails right through and doesn't have to do the work. We all have to do the work. And every single person in front of you that has a success, guess what? They did this. So if it's true that they were allowed to take the time that they needed to become the human that they were proud of, then it's true that you have the time that you need in order to be able to stop, slow down, tune in, and really get clear how you're becoming a savvy human being, how you're getting in alignment with yourself and surrendering to what is instead of being entitled and thinking that you just deserve to be at the next level right now. Like, I should have only had to do this and I should be at the next level. Why? Everybody else has to do the work. We all have to wait our time and actually just allow ourselves to become. And by the way, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to side note. Do you really even want that? Like, if you had to choose between, okay, yes, magically I'm at 30K months consistently now, but I didn't get to learn any of the lessons and the seasoning and the strengthening and the boundaries and the creating and designing myself to be a human being who shows up and creates a life that I really desire, which one would you pick? Because I for damn sure would never be picking the money. I'm going to be the exact same human being, not have grown at all, but I have money. Or I become the human being who's able to create that. You could take every single thing of my business, throw it in the trash. I'm not allowed to do anything that again, and I will be wildly successful in my next business. I don't mean that to be cocky. I mean that because I know that. I know that. That's like an instinctive knowing I have inside of my being because I've become the human being. So you can't take it away from me. The most powerful thing that could ever happen was us becoming the human being. And what people are trying to do is they're trying to race past becoming the human being to get the tangible results so they feel safe. But that's not actually safe. Like the saying goes, if we took all the money in the whole world and we just gave it equally to everybody and everybody had all the money equally, within a month's time, the rich would be rich again and the poor would be poor again, because it's about who you are and how you think and what your wiring is and what the pressure you can handle and how you view money and how you view success and how you view your purpose and the confidence that you have to back up what comes to you and creating your vision. It is always about becoming. So we got to stop skipping the most valuable part and putting so much weight on the result on the other side. Our work is to learn to enjoy the journey and the process, to enjoy the blogging you're doing every day, to enjoy this time that I get to spend with you guys right now on this Facebook Live. Not some kind of story that like, oh, I need 5 more sales for Savvy that's starting and it starts this week. So I need to hop on and I need to figure out what to say in order to get them to sign up. We're not doing that bullshit. That's not exciting. Do you really think that I would show up this consistently for that bullshit? No, I'm way too stubborn and lazy for that. That would never happen. Why I show up is because I, in my head, have locked in when I'm 95 years old and I'm looking back on my life, the only thing that I'll have cared about is that I gave everything I had to give. And I used all the value that I created and my bravery and the stuff I was willing to show up and grab a hold of for myself because I went first and I did it first. And now I can say, hey guys, it's this way, it's this way, it's this way. And did I show up and what abilities do I want to hone every single day in order to be able to create that legacy on the planet? I want to be able to write really powerfully. I want to be able to speak really powerfully. I want to be able to help people have breakthroughs just from a Facebook Live. Well, how am I going to learn how to do that? By hopping on Facebook Lives every day. Oh shit, took me 3 marriages to figure that one out. Just ask for what I want. That's really amazing. I just fell in love with you, Lee. Yes, so yes. It takes what it takes, and it looks like what it looks like. This is what it is. This is why you hear me say, this is what's behind. The work is the work. And I have no idea why I thought that only people who had some level of success would understand this. That's really weird. I don't normally let that kind of, somehow that one got wired in there. I really have no idea. I'm really glad I noticed it though, because that is ridiculous. Of course, anybody would understand this if we just talk about it. And I know that it's probably hard for people to believe because we live in a culture where it's like, do. No. I said to my client this morning, she's on here, I said to her, there's two things, and I'm being heart to heart, like she's also a close friend of mine. Heart to heart, if I'm being really, really honest with you, there's two powerful things that I do consistently that I know I'll always be successful. I always have a mentor, and I surrender to what is. And I literally search for how this is for me. Every maddening, annoying, heartbreaking, frustrating, hard thing that happens to me, I literally, my instinct now is to look, okay, how is this for me? What is this calling me to? What's the skill I'm developing right now? How do I become someone who's savvy enough to handle this? So that next time the situation comes around, I know how to handle this already. I got this, right? I'm seasoned at this. And that's literally how I feel about everything that happens and comes my way. I'm becoming right now. Oh, the Brene Brown stepped into the arena, right? I'm sure that resonates with you guys. Does that resonate with you? Brene Brown's arena? What is the saying? How does it go? If you're not also in the arena getting your ass kicked, I'm not interested in your feedback. Brilliant, right? Like for me, it's an arena is here. I've now stepped into an arena. It's time to work. It's time to become right now. And then other times there's really easy seasons where I'm playing and I'm having fun, and then another season of work comes along and there's an arena for me. But if we don't recognize it in an arena, we're like, why, this is kind of like my daughter does this. I'm like, you look like you're 4. Why are you doing that? That's what I say to her. She drives me nuts when she does it. But we have this this should be different by now, right? Like we're some kind of queen and it should just all be brought to us. And that's just how it should be. Which is kind of silly. But I think if we really are honest with ourselves and we think about it, if you really had to pick between like magically, poof, I'll give you 30K months, and now you have 30K months coming in, or you have a chance to become the human being who can create 30K months forever on the drop of a dime because you're that seasoned and savvy and you know all the skills. I'm hoping you guys are picking becoming the human being, kind of like compounding, right? Compound interest. I can give you a penny a day for the next 30 days. Or I can give you $3 million right now. Which one do you want? You want a penny a day because in 30 days from now, that's 5.3 million or something like that because of the compounding aspect of that, right? It's the same thing. So with that being said, sorry, another phone call. I put it on silent, but it still comes through. I notice if I do a Facebook Live and I put the silent on after the Facebook Live starts, it doesn't work. I have to do it before, ahead of time. So that's a Facebook Live tip. Yes, becoming for sure. Yes, we're all on the same page. Okay, so here's the deal. Our work is for, that's what I was gonna ask before the phone rang. Let me know underneath what you're surrendering to, right? Like, what if we were just brave enough to just say it out loud? Like we just actually just said it. What if it was completely safe for you to just say out loud, I'm surrendering to the fact that I'm not even remotely close to the kind of writer I want to be yet. Like I haven't been consistent and I don't have a voice that I want to have in my business or my company yet. Or I'm surrendered to the fact that I don't have the impact I want yet. I'm surrendered to the fact that I'm not making 30K months yet. I'm surrendered to the fact that I'm in a sticky relationship and I don't know where this is going. I'm surrendered to the fact that I'm still have negative thoughts and I still, beat myself up about things. I'm surrendered to the fact that what are we actually just full-blown surrendering to? And how are you, I still have water left. How are you being called? What in you is being called to mature? What are you being called to step into right now? How are you out of integrity? What's jarring? And what are you being called to? What have you been being called to that you have not stepped into? And are you ready? Are you ready to surrender to what is, accept where you're at, accept the work that it's going to take to have what you want, and that the work is actually the thing that makes you become everything that you long for and desire for yourself, right? And how good it's going to feel to become that person after you've showed up and did the work. It's going to feel freaking amazing. What is it that you're being called to, and what are you surrendering to? Now, if this type of work resonates with you, this is what we're locking into in the Savvy program. We begin Wednesday. You have one-on-ones with me. It's 8 weeks. We're literally locking in what are your power moves in your life, right? Based on these kind of principles, like what are the power moves that you're doing day to day so that we're wiring in, so that your instinct when shit happens is to find how it's for you, utilize that, and launch because of it. I'm telling you, I just admitted this to a friend of mine too. I told her, if something really bad happens or hard or scary happens and I can't find how it's for me, I'll start freaking out a little bit. It's basically the only time I still freak out. That's it. That's the only thing that still gets to me. If I can't find how it's for me, that's when I'll call my mentors and be like, well, this is what happened. How is this for me? Now, my goal is to get to the place where I trust it's for me, even if I can't see it, but I still have this story in my head that you can always see it. I'm just not seeing it for some reason. And that's been true so far. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't really know. But I'm looking forward to getting to the place where I'm trusting the process, even if I can't see how it's for me. But I am so grateful and thankful and have massive success because the instinct that has been wired in me is to surrender to what is, find how it's for me, and launch off of that. Like literally use the stuff that other people fall apart about to strengthen me and launch me to the next level. That is what we're doing in Savvy. And that's one tiny piece. We have 8 weeks, right? So we're doing your power moves in your personal life, your power moves in your business. We're locking in 80% of the stuff that you're doing you never needed to do and you don't need to do to have success in your business. And I'm going to teach you how to design it in a way where you're in integrity and alignment with yourself, becoming the human being, right? Like it was never about like cookie cutter, do something someone else is doing. It was about I'm locking in. So the motivation that I had to show up for this Facebook Live is the same motivation that I'm going to teach you to have, only your version in week 2 in the business, right? So it's mandyperry.com/savvy. You guys can check out the rest of the weeks and the details. We're up leveling every single area of life in this program. You're gonna get more expansion done in this program than most people do in an entire lifetime. That is guaranteed. Like literally you're gonna have more expansion in this program than most people do in an entire lifetime. That's just facts. I've watched it happen over and over and over. This is one of my favorite topics ever. It's what I feel like I'm the best at. Out of all the things in all business, what I could teach you and like what I'm the most expert at is being really brave, making things easy and surrendering to the process, launching it to the next level and using all of that to like anybody who's followed this journey of mine, it's just been every area has just been up leveled. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. And a savviness that just keeps happening and happening. So I chose Savvy, even though I wanted to call this program Brave as Fuck. I wanted to call it Brave AF. That's what I wanted to name the program, but I didn't. I called it Savvy. But I definitely could have called it Brave as Fuck, because that is what it's for. It does include weekly one-on-ones, so it's 8 weeks of one-on-ones with me, plus that group, plus the 8 weeks of trainings and some hardcore stuff that we're doing in there. And then, obviously you guys are going to get access to any single training that you need for tech stuff or business building stuff that you could possibly ever need. But I do it the way I do it so that you stay laser focused on your goal and achieving your goal during this program. So we're going to set goals together and we're going to literally set them together and check in every single day together and watch ourselves go through this process over the 8 weeks and literally watch yourself expanding and just watch these keep happening and keep happening. I'm so excited to begin this. We begin the welcome is on Wednesday. If you're interested, just PM me. You can check out the details, mandyperry.com/savvy, SAVVY. If somebody has never seen the word savvy written before, I don't know why I spelled that out for you. Wait, let me see this good stuff right here. I'm surrendering to the fact that I am having nowhere near the impact I was expecting to have by the stage. Surrender. I was expecting it to be here. I thought it would be here by now. I'm not. So how is this for me? Just like I'm holding on to the weight again. Why? How is this for me? What am I being called to? Like, oh, you let some shit slip in, or you didn't, like, you're being called to this thing over here. It's so for us. It's so powerful to just say it out loud and surrender. So powerful. I surrender to the fact that this is the work and I show up no matter what. This is growing pains and it's all for me. Fucking right. I'm surrendering to everything, literally everything. Oh, I'm being called in a direction I never saw coming. And that my meant for more may mean something completely different than someone else's more or the former idea of what I thought more was. This seems to be like wildfire going through the ranks right now. That is so powerful, Jamie. Hell yes. I second that one for you. Right? I know. Maybe I'll do one called that. I just might. Oh, so good. Yes. I'm seconding these all for you guys. 100% I'm on board with you guys. This is the work. This is what it looks like. I don't know why I never thought to explain this. I literally have no idea why I never thought to explain it. But now I have. If you're here, I don't believe in coincidences. You are here for a reason. If you're being called to go deeper in this work, make sure you reach out to me and we can get details on the Savvy program, and we'll get started on Wednesday for the welcome in there. It's a powerful group in there. I'm loving it. I'm excited about this. All right, if you have any questions at all, let me know. If you're on the replay, feel free to let me know what you're surrendering to, what's coming up for you. Tag me if you need anything at all. Let me know where you're from. Hashtag I'm here if you're on the replay. And for sure, let me know if this is your first time so I can welcome you. Okay, I love you guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see the rest of you in the Savvy group. Love you.